What's going on, TikTok? We getting ready to do um the zodiac signs. I'm gonna tell you what about and everything else, okay? Alright, let's get started with the zodiac sign. Taurus is the first one. Let's see. If you're dealing with Taurus, if you're dealing with Taurus, they got their guard up from a woman. If you're dealing with Taurus, they got their guard up. If you're dealing with a Sagittarius, if you're dealing with a Sagittarius, they're trying to come out. If you're dealing with a Sagittarius, they're getting people confused and they stand on business. Mm. If you're dealing with Pisces, if you're dealing with Pisces, if you're dealing with Pisces, they're not gonna have nothing to do with you. They're not gonna have nothing to do with you. They're gonna keep you confused and chaos. And the tower is here. So yeah, they're not gonna have nothing to do with you. If you're dealing with a Scorpio, if you're dealing with a Scorpio, if you're dealing with a Scorpio, yes, they walked away from you. Yes, they walked away from you. They sure did. They walked away from you. If you're dealing with a Capricorn, if you're dealing with a Capricorn, hold on, God, hold on, angel, show me one. If they dealing with a Capricorn, they're gonna stab you in the back. Oh yeah, they're gonna stab you in the back and leave you confused. Stab you in the back and leave you confused. Yeah, and they're gonna keep going. They're gonna keep going to the next person. Mm. If you deal with a Libra, if you dealing with a Libra, if you dealing with a Libra, if you dang, if you dealing with a Libra, they're gonna be stuck. They're gonna be stuck. Yeah. If you're dealing with a Gemini, if you're dealing with a Gemini, hold on, God, hold on, angel. If you're dealing with a Gemini, they're gonna leave you hanging. They're gonna leave you hanging. They're gonna just gonna leave you hanging for real. If you're dealing with a Virgo, if you're dealing with a Virgo, if you're dealing with a Virgo, If you're dealing with Virgo, you're dealing with Virgo, they're going to cut you off. They're going to cut you off. Yep, they're going to cut you off. To act like they ain't done nothing. If you're dealing with Aquarius, what a God give me. If you're dealing with Aquarius, you deal with Aquarius, a woman mad. The woman is mad. And they hurt. If you're dealing with a Leo, they talking bad about you. If you're dealing with a Leo, they talking bad about you, putting you down, hurting you. If you're dealing with an Aries, if you're dealing with an Aries, they don't care how hurt you are. They're gonna still hurt you. They don't have no use for you no more. Yeah. Ooh. If you're dealing with a counselor, they blindside on you. Yep. When this king reach out, they're gonna blindside on you. You're not gonna see this coming. So they're not gonna. Counselor's not no good for you. All right, y'all have a wonderful, blessed day. Keep God first. Love you. Be blessed in Jesus' name. Stay in pieces and not in peace. All right. See you later. Be blessed. Peace.